Hello, a very warm welcome to Happy Hands Knitting Podcast. My name is Nadine and I'm coming to you on a sunny day here in northern New South Wales, Australia, and I'm originally from Montreal, Canada. Yes, it's a sunny day today and it has been raining for probably about 10 days straight, so today is a sunny day, then I think it's going to go back to raining again, so I'm trying to take advantage, trying to get lots of laundry done, and I hope it's a nice weather wherever you're watching from. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about two finished objects, here's one, and two works in progress. Okay, so what I'm wearing is my latest finished object. This is the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. I knit this using, the blue is Holst Coast, and I held it single, and the color work is done in Spin Cycle dyed in the wool, which I bought on Facebook Marketplace. It's a little bit hot actually. I don't think I'll put the aircon on. We'll see how I go. Okay, I may pause the video and put the aircon on, but I think I'll try to tough it out. Okay, so yes, I said that I held this yarn single. So Holst Coast is actually very fine, and I was debating if I should hold it double, which normally I would do, but I always look on Ravelry at when you go on Ravelry and you can say yarn ideas, and I click on through the projects people who have used the same yarn as me, and then I just read their notes just to see what they have to say about it. I recommend that because you can get little tips and tricks in there, and there was one person who said that they held it single, so I thought, oh, I'll try that because like I said, today it's quite warm, and in general when I'm wearing a tee here in Australia, it means that it's warm outside. So holding it single sounded like a nicer, lighter idea. And like I said, this yarn is Coast, which is about 50-50. I think it's 45-55 cotton and wool. So it's a little bit more practical for this weather. Okay, the modifications that I made, I did a 1x1 rib on the neck and as well on the cuff. But I did keep, she has these little yarn overs, which I thought were very cute. So I did do those yarn overs before I went into the main color work. All the color work I did as per pattern. I think the sleeves I went right into the ribbing. So I didn't knit any more length on the sleeves. I went right into that yarn over and then 1x1 ribbing. I think I just did a few, I didn't do too much. Looks like I did about 5 or 6 rows of 1x1 ribbing. And then on the bottom, I repeated these yarn overs. After I did it, I was doubting myself. I thought, oh my gosh, are everyone gonna see my pale belly? But I think it looks fine. And then I went into the ribbing, and I did do this section a lot shorter. I felt like it would look pretty with high-waisted skirts or over a dress, which I feel like it does. I'm happy with the length I chose. My daughter was looking at it when I was saying, do you think that's long enough? And she wasn't sure about the ratios of the color work to the bottom, but I think, I did a few more after she said that, and I think the ratios are nice. And I love the positive ease. It's really, really comfortable top. What else? I think that's all the modifications that I made. I'm really, really pleased with this. The color work was so much fun. If you want to watch a video, I think 2 or 3 videos ago, I just go on and on about how much I love color work, and I did a little bit of research into why color work knitting is so addictive. So if you're interested in learning about that, that's on my video. I think it's called Color Work, Why It's So Addictive or something like that. But yeah, it was really, really interesting, but it was so fun doing the color work. I'm actually quite keen to do another one of these, and maybe a winter sweater with long sleeves, and maybe just 2 colors, like not a color changing yarn, but just just 2 solid colors. I think that'll be really fun as well, because this color work was so much fun, and I love color work. Okay, so that's my first finished object. My second finished object is the socks that I was knitting for my husband. I think I didn't have much really left to go there, so I'll just briefly show them. I knit them using Patton's Kroy FX that I got in Canada, and the heel, toe, and cuff are done with onion Nettle. So he loves them. I'll put a little photo I think this is me wearing them actually. I'll put a little photo of them on. Yeah, not really much else to say about that except I used a 2.75 millimeter needle. I always start my socks when I'm just knitting plain socks like this from the toe. I do that cast on where, yeah, you can't really see. I forget what it's called. Judy's Magic Cast On, something like that. I started at 12 and I get up to 24, 12 on each needle. I get up to 64 stitches total. Then I knit whatever length is appropriate for the person I'm knitting it for. And then I do the shadow wrap heel and then just keep going. And that's that. I did cast on another pair for myself with the leftovers from my Patton's Kroy sock that I knit 2 months ago. So pardon my reaching. So these are the ones, they're a bit grubby because I've been wearing them a lot recently, but those are the ones that I knit for myself. They were sisters, not twins, because I started one from the center and one from the outside, not realizing that the stripes were gonna go in the opposite direction, but that's okay. I think they're still really cute. And the heels, toes, and cuffs, I used Mondim, which I bought in Calgary a couple of years ago. And I actually had a lot left over. I actually had enough left over for a whole nother pair of socks. So enter sock number 2. So this time I used also Mondim, but in a purple color. I'll talk more about this yarn in a minute, but yeah, so I just put them on a barber cord because I wanted to make sure that I had enough yarn to do what I wanted to do here. And I need to save some of that yarn because I have used it to knit another pair of socks and I've only done one of them and left it. So I need to make sure I have enough yarn to do the cuffs and weigh it to make sure I have enough for the to complete the other sock. Okay, so yeah, this time I started from the outside for both of them, so they should be twins. And same thing, I did the same stitch count that I did for my husband's socks, but I knitted shorter on the foot. And yeah, again, these shorty needles. If you've used shorty needles before, like when I first bought them, I was still knitting English style, and it was awful. I did not like them at all, but now that I've switched to doing continental, I find it amazing to use these little shorties. I highly recommend them if you're a continental knitter for knitting socks or potentially sleeves in the round. I think they're amazing and they go so fast. And then you don't have to worry about laddering up on the sides if that's an issue for you. And oh yeah, speaking of continental, I did knit this one as well in continental knitting, except for, yeah, the color work. I had, one yarn on each hand. So I did continental plus English style knitting. And I cannot say the same for my next work in progress. Okay, I'll get back to that sock yarn after, I hope I remember. But my next work in progress is the Corran Cardigan by Rebecca Clow. I hope I mentioned that this is Boylan Knitworks. Anyways, I'm sure I put it on the screen. So this is the Corran Cardigan. This is the second one that I'm knitting. I've already got the whole body done and I've started on the first sleeve. Let me tell you, this puppy knits up so fast. The reason being, it's quite large needles. These are 6 millimeter and all the holes. So basically every second row you're doing, instead of knitting every couple stitches, you're just doing a yarn over. So that just makes it go so incredibly fast. And yeah, which is really, really satisfying. I held Holst Coast double for this. And yes, I went up a needle size from the pattern, maybe even 2, I'm not sure. I may have knit my last one with a 5 millimeter and this one I'm using a 6 millimeter because I wanted to knit the same size and have it be a little bit bigger because I felt that one was a little bit snug. So yeah, I used 2 different colors if you haven't seen my previous videos. Bulgoing and raspberry, and these together make this amazing color. I'm very excited for it to be finished. And yeah, nothing else really to say about that, I don't think. Yeah, knitting the lace pattern, it's very, very easy. It looks quite complex, but it's just a 4-row repeat, and very intuitive and very easy to see if you've made a mistake. Sorry, I put that away prematurely. A way that I make sure that I keep on track is, I don't know if you can see these straight columns that are just the knit stitch all the way up. So every now and then I just make sure that knit stitch, those towers are intact and there's no knit two togethers in there. And yeah, I have caught myself, luckily early, and had to rip back a little bit because maybe I did the yarn overs and the knit two togethers in the wrong spot. So yeah, it was very easy to fix. And yeah, I highly, highly recommend that pattern. She's such a great designer. Love all her patterns, love how she gives so many different options. This one I'm doing, the first one I did the V-neck, so this time I'm doing the round neck. And so she has both patterns for that, and she even gives different sleeve options. So she's just absolutely incredible, Rebecca Kroy. Okay, right, so back to this yarn. So this Retro Zaria Rosa Pomar Mondim, that's so many words, is a non-superwash and no nylon. No, it's just wool, but it's sock yarn. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to last long and not get holes. I often tend to get holes in this bit where the ball of my foot touches the ground. So yeah, hopefully it's going to work well. But as I was saying, I had knit a pair of socks in this. Actually, I think I stuffed them in the middle. Okay, this was the one that I had to redo. So this pattern is very, very pretty. They're called the Crespidia socks, and they're by Andrea Mowry, Drea Renee Knits. And her pattern was in the 52 Weeks of Socks, Part 1, Volume 1. That's the book that I have. And I started these on, I think I used the magic loop, so on just regular circular needles, but they're just way too small. Like, let me hold this up. Oh, they're way too small. I mean, I know this yarn might be a bit thicker, but this is the same yarn actually right here. Yeah, for some reason, they just came out so small. So that was on 2.5 millimeter needles. So I ordered 2.75, and that's when I first started trying the shorties. So obviously I didn't undo this one, but I just started the other sock with the different needle size. I should have brought them, I'm sorry, they're in the other room. But yeah, they've come out much better. However, when I was knitting this, I was still using the English style. So because they're on the shorties, not these ones, the other ones, they were such a pain. It was so slow going, especially because like half the sock is just stuck in it, but the other half, there's a lot going on there. So yeah, I'm kind of excited now to pick back up and start on the second sock and use continental style. I think it'll be a good place to practice. There is a lot going on, and I was a bit nervous to try using the continental on Rebecca Kroy's one because yeah, it was just awkward. It was just awkward doing the yarn over knit two together. I found it a bit tricky using my left hand, but I think I'm gonna really force myself to practice doing all these cables and bobbles and different things continental to make the second sock, and yeah, just challenge myself a little bit. And actually I use there's little bobbles in the middle, and I use the crochet hook method, and I think that's going to be amazing to do when I'm doing continental because I'm already going to have the yarn in my left hand. So it's going to make that bit go a little bit faster, which should be awesome. Okay, let me just check. I already finished talking about everything. I think I am. I know I'm a fast talker, I apologize for that. You can always slow down your video. I think that's an option in YouTube if you can't understand what I'm saying. Yes. Okay, that is it, guys. I'm just thinking now that although today is very hot, but it has been a little bit cooler with the weather. I'm kind of wanting to knit something for my kids because I feel like how many sweaters has one person made and cardigans, and it's just, yeah. What do you guys think? Do you ever feel like I have way too many sweaters? I have no business making anything else, but that's our passion and our hobby, and you know what gets us through tough times and keeps us busy, keeps our hands happy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna see if my daughters, I've got 2 daughters, a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, surely they'll want something because yeah, lately they have been asking me for things. So I'm thinking I would really love to do a pullover. They're both more into pullovers and cardigans because you know they're teenagers. So I'm thinking I would love to do a cabled pullover. And actually, in my video last week, all about cardigans, I spoke about how I wanted to do the book club cardigan. Well, Sorry Nordland has just released the book club pullover. So that's really beautiful, and I feel like my younger daughter might really love that. So yeah, I'll see if I can convince her to let me make it for her. Gosh, that sounds awful. Surely she would love for me to make it for her. Teenagers. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. I got quite a few new subscribers last week. And hey, maybe I'll make it to 1,000 soon, which would be amazing. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, and also giving me a thumbs up, leaving me a comment down below, letting me know where you're watching from. And I look forward to chatting to you next week. Maybe I'll be finished the Corran cardigan because it's so fast. Yeah, and I can't wait to wear it too. Thanks again. See you next time.